My name is Daniel Ramos. I'm from Amarillo, Texas. I heard about Thrivetime show through Pastor Brian over at his church in Amarillo. Clay went over to our church and he spoke over there, and ever since then I've been listening to Mr. Clay Clark and Dr. Z. I own a heating and air conditioning business in Amarillo, Texas, and I'm looking to learn how to market my business better. The way I would describe Clay's office here is hype. He's like Flavor Flav up there with a big chain, and he just keeps the whole place hype. He's a great host. I would describe Clay's style and delivery a little bit like Flavor Flav. He's always keeping it hype. He keeps everybody energized. I enjoy listening to him on the podcast. He's funny, he's hilarious, the stories he tells, it's great. I think the best thing I can say I learned here at the conference is that you got to have your website up and you have to have some web presence. If you decide not to attend, and you're missing out on a ton, you're missing out on a chance to help grow your business for sure, and it just, him showing you the systems on how things work. Everybody needs to attend at least one time because you're not sure what you don't know until you learn that you don't know it, and now that you know, you want to go out and use it in business.
Hi, my name is Kurt Hutflez, and I am the owner of PowerPoint Design 24/7. I want to share my experience working with the business coaching program through Thrivetime. We've been working with them for a little over 5 months now, and during that time, we have rebranded our website. We have a new no-brainer Purple Cow offer. We have turnkey marketing and ads running that do not take up a personal time. We have a new interview and hiring system in place. We have built training presentations to get our new hires up to speed. So during this time, we have hit our goals, and now we're just working the system to find new leads and clients. It's been a great experience, and highly recommend the business coaching at Thrivetime show. Thanks.
My name is Rachel Wimpy, and I'm originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've learned so much. My head, I feel like, is about to explode. But a lot that I've taken away from it is the working on your business instead of in your business, because I have the tendency to just want to do it all myself. And that's one thing that Clay really teaches, is to have systems in place that you don't have to be there running it, and your business can actually run without you. It's just awesome. It's like a entrepreneur playground. It's amazing here. So it's really awesome. A fun atmosphere, lots of cool stuff, lots of fun quotes. It's just a really cool place to be. Clay's presentation and his style is so different than most. It's been really one-on-one. He takes the time to just kind of answer your questions about your business rather than just a generic answer. He'll personalize it for different people's businesses, because everybody's is different, but at the same time you implement those very same systems that he's discovered throughout all of the businesses he's ran, and it's just a lot of good information, really good presentation. If you don't come, you're just going to be missing out on so much actually applicable, knowledge that's applicable rather than just accounting information. It's very hands-on. The Thrive 15 conference has been great because there is no real upsell. He's not pushing anything down our throats. I've gone to different conferences before where my husband and I have been upsold over and over and over and over again, and they've just been pushing that down our throats, and it's you know how it is. It's annoying, and so there's none of that here. It's been really nice. Most business conferences are very, very expensive, and to just go and then get upsold again to spend even more money. This one's very affordable. It's definitely worth it. It'll completely change your mindset. It'll change your life. It's definitely worth it. I recommend that people check out the Thrive conference because it'll completely change your mindset about just working your business to actually being a business owner and actually being able to apply all that knowledge that you will learn here. It's going to change your business. It's going to bring you from, where you thought you could go to higher. It's very, you should definitely do it. You should definitely check it out.
My name is Paul James Matherin, and I'm originally from England, Essex, England. I actually heard about it through my brother Andy. He's good friends with Clay, and he told me about it, and it was a good idea for us to come on over. I didn't think Thrive 15 was a scam. I did some research on it, and also I know Clay personally, so I was really excited to attend. I've learned so much since coming to the Thrive 15 conference. Marketing, for one. I thought I was pretty good at marketing myself, but there's so much that I haven't really considered that Clay has shared with me. Sales, the sales structure, different things that I can do within the sales conversation, things that I can teach people that, because I work in training, so people that I can teach sales skills to. There's a lot of things I haven't even considered yet, which Clay was very specific with today. So the Thrive 15 World Headquarters, when I first walked in the door, I was absolutely amazed at the style. It's really, it kind of seems like another world within Tulsa. It's, you know, from the tables to the chairs to the setup, it's just a cool environment. It's an up-to-date, very hip style environment. So very enjoyable. I absolutely love Clay's presentation and delivery style. He kind of reminds me of a cross between a comedian and a very professional presenter. He gets the point across. He knows how to use different analogies to reach different people in the audience, and he's absolutely hilarious. He really is. I find myself cracking up most of the time. So yeah, it's really enjoyable for sure. I'd say the interaction level is very high. I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? I find that I'm very engaged. It's very hard to keep my attention. So the fact that he's asking a lot of questions and he's using everybody's names, it feels as though that he knows everyone individually and personally. So I very much enjoy his presentation style and the interaction level. I actually have a number of friends that are aspiring to start their own businesses but aren't taking those first necessary steps. I feel like they're missing out because they don't understand how important it is to get started. I think that's one of the big points that Clay makes is to actually just do something, take action. So that they're missing out on a lot of inspiration, a lot of learning points. And in addition to that, they're missing out on the opportunity of being in an environment where there are a lot of other people in the same shoes as them. So I would say that among millions of other things they're missing out by not attending. So by me showing up, I'm definitely going to be speaking to a lot of people about coming to an event like this. I've personally been to a Tony Robbins seminar last November. At the time, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was great, very inspiring, but it was very short-lived. I've come to this, and yes, I did feel like I was being upsold. I'll be completely honest. I was there for 4 days, and one of the days was entirely spent trying to upsell me on other things or whatnot. You kind of felt like you were pressured to do something, spend more money. Didn't have that feeling here whatsoever. It really feels like Clay is about you and your development and your improvement. And he actually makes it a very specific point not to upsell you, he tells you to leave your wallet in the car because his main prerogative is for you to have a good experience here and take something away that you can develop over the long term rather than just short-term gains. I would definitely recommend people to come check it out so they could get the first steps of their business going, ready to take action. They have a big support system here at a Thrive 15 conference, especially in Clay, because you can tell that he cares. And he's got a lot of good advice to give people in a new business. But in addition to that, you may be a seasoned business owner. There are so many different things that I can guarantee that you haven't considered yet. New ideas, new concepts, and just a different set of eyes on business in general can definitely get you to go to that next level in addition to starting a new business.
I am Steve Small. I'm part owner in Bigfoot Restoration Repair. We are in the Denver metro area in Colorado. We're kind of technically probably in our 3.5, 4th year of Bigfoot, but really only our second in truly trying to go after capturing major market share in the Denver area. So our first year, we did pretty well, kind of winging it on our own. But this last year, I think we're up about 112% growth based on the previous year. So with Thrive, obviously they have us do a multitude of things that, prior to working with them, we really didn't understand the value. So obviously we put a ton of time into obviously doing great work and really doing great technical execution of our industry for all of our clients. But in addition to that, We're heavy into podcasting, into creating content for our website, just doing really all of those action items that they, suggest are a part of a successful growing business. So we started with Thrive last April. One of my best friends had encouraged me to go out to one of their conferences the year before that. Just could never make it work. So we finally snuck out there in spring of last year, hopped on board, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since. Mr. Andrew, he is he's a great guy. Really appreciate his energy and his hustle. He honestly motivates us as a younger person. Just brings massive amounts of energy to our meeting every Tuesday morning, bright and early, and we've enjoyed working with him immensely thus far. Yep, so I do this constantly. All of my friends and people that I network with that have smaller companies, regardless of the industry, I always encourage them to listen to the Thrive podcast, to, maybe make a trip out with us to Tulsa at some point, and just really say it's worth the look. They say it's not the right fit for everyone, which I suppose that's true. But, anybody that I network with is, super cream of the crop when it comes to their industry. To me, it's a no-brainer, but it's got to be something where they understand the time commitment and that extra, just type of time management to their work day. But to me, it's always something that they need to at least check out.
Hi, my name's Steven. My incredible coach, Jason, asked me if I'd share a little bit about invoicing and how it's changed our business not to invoice. So we run a manufacturing company called Mod Scenes, and I have a couple of questions to answer. So what was our life like when we were invoicing? Not super great. We did a lot of work where, since we do manufacturing, a lot of expenses would go out on the front end, and then on the back end, we'd be caught trying to chase people down for money to be able to pay for the materials that we'd already, cut and sent to the clients. So obviously that was not a huge great thing. It's constantly thinking through, okay, what money coming from which job can go to the next job. It put us in a place where we had to spend a ton of time thinking through the money part of it. And on a consistent basis, we'd have clients who wouldn't pay, or they would take 45 days instead of 30 or 60 days to pay. We even had one client, I think it took us almost 200 days to get paid on, tens of thousands of dollars worth of material. So it became a very big sticking point really quickly. So I was concerned whenever we stopped invoicing, because I was worried I wouldn't get that work. There have been a couple of small times that's happened, but honestly, in retrospect, I see that I probably didn't need those people as clients anyways, because we ended up doing a lot of work for them, and by the time all of our time was put into chasing down money from those and actually getting the finished product to where we were happy with it and they were happy with it, it ended up being more time than we probably were paid for. So since then, our life's improved. About 90% of our business is paid up front. Another probably 7% of it is there's a large deposit paid on, and only a very select few customers get invoiced, and they're typically on a net 30. But those are customers we've had since the beginning, and they're outstanding. So I hope this is helpful. I'd be happy to answer any other specific questions if it helps you. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jim Cathcart. I'm from Thousand Oaks, California, originally Little Rock, Arkansas. Happy to be in Tulsa. I'm a professional speaker and author. I've been doing this for 41 years, so I've done 3,100 talks around the world to convention audiences typically. And I've written 18 books. And so in my niche, I've gone deep and wide. And I love being around this kind of training. And that's what attracted me to Thrive in the first place. One of the coolest things about Thrive is it's a culture. It's not just a place. It's not just a thing or a process. It's a culture. And, like people talk about the Disney culture, the Google culture, the Amazon, whatever, the Zappos. A lot of companies have been featured for their unique cultures. Well, if you look around here, and you can see some of this behind me, you can certainly see it on all the other walls, and the floor and the ceiling. Every inch of it is intentional. Every inch of it is designed to stimulate more creativity, more discipline, more commitment, more openness, more sensitivity on some level. You know, I'm looking at a wall right now, and it talks about how do you achieve the wow factor and how important is vision, and why is enthusiasm so important? How do you stimulate motivation? How do you increase your expectations so that you increase your game to reach those expectations? You know, all of this puts you into a mindset that causes you to want to grow, want to be more, want to make a difference. That's what I love about Thrive. Let's assume for a minute you heard about Thrive, you read one of Clay's books, you tuned into the radio show, you, I don't know, you signed up for $1 and you watched a few of the mentor videos online, okay? And you say, yeah, it was good, okay, I know what that is. Well, yeah, it's kind of like wandering through a library and reading part of a book and saying, yeah, I got that, right? Go through a Barnes & Noble, find one near you. Go through one, just wander through, look at the titles, pick up a few of them, read a couple of pages, and then leave the store. You're going to be better off, maybe a little, okay? But why should you come to the Thrive workshop? Because that's where it gets processed. So you don't get better from exposure to ideas. You get better from application of the ideas. And the workshop is a workshop. It's not a seminar where you listen. It's not a speech where you just hear it. It's a workshop where you work on your business, your life, your goals, your concerns, your fears, your aspirations. So come to the workshop. First off, it's one of the most affordable in the entire world of training and development. Second, it is fun. I mean, you're going to feel good. And it's creative. So you're going to come out of here with not just ideas from the workshop itself, but workshops from the experience you had. I mean, ideas from the experience you had by being in the workshop. So I would heartily encourage you to book an inexpensive flight to Tulsa, Oklahoma, find a nearby hotel room, and come to this for a couple of days and just completely immerse yourself in evolving in this kind of an atmosphere.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Okay, Aaron Antis, March 6th and 7th. March 6th and 7th, guess who's coming to Tulsa, Jerusalem?
Ooh, Santa Claus?
No, that's March 6th and 7th. You're going to be joined by Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Probably the best-selling, or one of the best-selling business authors of all time. And he's going to be joined with Eric Trump. He'll be joined by Eric Trump. So we got Eric Trump and Robert Kiyosaki in the same place. Aaron, why should everybody show up to hear Robert Kiyosaki?
Well, you got billions of dollars of business experience between those two, not to mention many, many, many millions of books have been sold. Many, many millionaires have been made from the books that have been sold by Robert Kiyosaki. I happen to be one of them. I learned from the man. He was the inspiration. That book was the inspiration for me to get the entrepreneurial spirit, as many other people.
Now, since you won't brag on yourself, I will. You've sold billions of dollars of houses, am I correct?
That is true.
And the book that kickstarted it all for you,
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the author, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that kickstarted your career.
Yeah.
He's going to be here.
I'm pumped.
And now Eric Trump, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States and soon to be the 47th president of these United States, he needed someone to run the companies for him. And so the man that runs the Trump organization before Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States, and now the 47th president of the United States is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint.
Right.
I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second. Would you buy a ticket just to see Robert Kiyosaki and Eric Trump? Of course you would.
Of course you would.
But we're also going to be joined by Sean Baker. This is the best-selling author, the guy who invented the carnivore diet.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Sean Baker. He's been on Joe Rogan multiple times. He's going to be joining us. So you've got Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Eric Trump, Sean Baker. The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here. With the most people we've ever had in this building was for the Jim Brewer presentation. Jim Brewer came here, the legendary comedian Jim Brewer came to Tulsa, and we had 419 people that were here. 419 people.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, there's no more room. I felt kind of bad that a couple people had VIP seats in the men's restroom. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But I thought, you know what? We should probably add on. So we're adding on what we call the upper deck, or the top shelf. So the seats are very close to the presenters, but we're actually building right now. We're adding on to the facility to make room to accommodate about another 30 attendees or more. So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody. Don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences, and so to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrivetime Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard.
Yep.
And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch and to make it entertaining when you're stretching. This is a true story. When you get up and stretch, you'll be greeted by mariachis.
Sure.
There's going to probably be alpaca here, llamas, helicopter rides, a coffee bar, a snow cone. There's just...
You had a crocodile one time. That was pretty interesting.
I should write that down and actually do that.
Sorry for that one guy that we lost.
The crocodile, we duct taped its face so that we duct taped.
No, it was a baby crocodile.
And it was duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape around the mouth so it didn't bite anybody. But it was really cool passing that thing around and petting it.
I should do that. We have a small petting zoo that will be assembled. It's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business.
It's tough.
But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet. And then you add to that Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You add to that Eric Trump, the man that runs the Trump Organization. You add to that Sean Baker. Now you might say, but Clay, is there more? I need more. Well, okay, Tom Wheelwright is the wealth strategist for Robert Kiyosaki. So people say, Robert Kiyosaki, who's his financial wealth advisor? Who's the guy who manages, who's his wealth strategist? His wealth strategist, Tom Wheelwright, will be here. And you say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch. It's Ted Escondido's, an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. And Jill Donovan, our good friend, who is the founder of Rustic Cuff. She started that company in her home, and now she sells millions of dollars of apparel and products. That's rusticcuff.com. And someone says, I want more. This is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay. I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we've got one guy who's given me a verbal. to be here. And this is a guy who's one of the wealthiest people in Oklahoma, and nobody really knows who he is because he's built systems that are very utilitarian, that offer a lot of value. He's made a lot of money in the it's where you rent. It's short term, not. It's where you're renting storage spaces. He's a storage space guy. He owns the. What do you call that? The rental,
Storage space.
storage units. This guy owns storage units. He owns railroad cars. He owns a lot of assets that make money on a daily basis, but they're not like customer facing. Most people don't know who owns the mini storage facility, or most people don't know who owns the warehouse that's passively making money. Most people don't know who owns the railroad cars, but this guy, he's given me a verbal that he will be here, and we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event. Again, the day here is March 6th and 7th. March 6th and 7th, we just got confirmation. Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he'll be here. Eric Trump, the man who leads the Trump organization. It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. You think that's going to change your life? I promise you this will be 10 times better than that.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. That is, I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. I mean, it is life-changing. It is life-changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life-changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right, really. So if you're looking to have life-changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I promise you it will be a life-changing experience. We can't wait to see you right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.